Hello and welcome to the Raw Mama podcast. I'm your host, Shireen. Today's guest is someone incredibly special, not only because she's family, but because she brings a rare and powerful perspective to the parenting journey. My mother-in-law, Deanna, raised her son, my husband, Carlo, and 16 years later raised a daughter, giving her a front row seat to how parenting has evolved across two different eras. From changing norms to the wisdom that only experience can bring, we're diving into motherhood then versus now and what really matters in raising resilient, loving children. Hello and welcome to the Raw Mama podcast. I'm your host, Shireen, and today we have Deanna. And Deanna is my husband's mother. So Deanna is my mother-in-law. Welcome.
Thank you.
Deanna, would you like to share anything about yourself before we get to it?
Well, I was thinking, since we're talking about motherhood, maybe I should give a little background about.
Go ahead.
So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm trying to think of the details. But so I was married when I was 23.
Okay.
And then a year and a half later, my mother-in-law passed away and my nephew came to live with us. And he was 12. And then a year later, we had Carlo. And then 16 years later, we had Emma.
Yes.
So that's my mother. That's
your
mother journey. Yes.
Journey. Okay. So you actually became a mother to someone who is 12 years old. You started when he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also heard that you later on adopted him as well.
So his name Adriano, and he was raised by his grandparents. He came to live with us. We were married a year. And we had to figure out like what we're going to feed him, how we're going to get him to school because we were both working full time, what we're going to do with him in the summer. So we had those sorts of things that we dealt with. And we did have family around. His father, was around. But so that was our first experience trying to be parents.
Yeah.
And then we got pregnant with Carlo. And then a year later, he was born. So we had the two of them. And so it was like trial by fire, kind of,
for sure. And so with Carlo a year later, so you were basically raising a preteen.
Yes.
And at the same time, starting from the very beginning with a newborn.
Yes.
How did that feel?
Oh, I'm so tired. It's like we both worked full time. And so I had 3 months off after I had Carlo. And I remember dreaming about all the things I was going to do. I was going to take him to the beach. I was going to go with my friends. And the reality was I sat on my couch with my drapes drawn most of the time, just so tired, like sitting there. And in those days, you really didn't have a lot of help if it wasn't your friends.
Yeah.
And I did have friends that had kids. And I had one friend that would come over and knock on my door and open my drapes and get the day started. But it was like, well, it's like you're just so tired. It's like every 2 hours a baby's waking up and you're feeding them. And we didn't have a lactation specialist. And I really didn't have my mom because my mom lived 3.5 hours away. And I kind of wish I would have drawn my mom in more. But my mom was 40 and she had become an empty nester and she's trying to find her career. And so I really didn't have any help. So you just kind of winged it, but we're so tired. And then I went back to work after that. I worked nights and my husband worked days.
How old was Carlo at this point?
He would have been 3 months old.
3 months old, and then you went back to work.
I went back to work. And I was sort of resentful because we always talked about how I would always be home because Carlo's mom was always home with him. My mom was always home with us. But like times changed and we just couldn't afford it. Yeah, we just didn't have financially, we couldn't do it. So I was a little resentful about that for a while. But I worked at night. He worked during the day. We didn't have the same days off. We had a caregiver that would there's like 2 hours in between.
Yes.
We would do the baby swap. And that went on for a while. And then eventually I took a part-time job with the airlines. I worked for the airlines. So I was able to get a part-time job and I started at 7 o'clock at night. So 7 o'clock till midnight. So I was home all day.
Were you breastfeeding this time or no?
I really had a difficult time breastfeeding with Carlo. Like he had a lot of stomach aches and I didn't know what it was. He didn't really latch on. He didn't get enough milk.
Yeah.
So with him, I did breastfeed for a very short period of time. And then I tried to give him Similac and then I tried to give him real milk. And it's like, he's probably still screwed up about that whole milk thing. But I was like, I never had to like breastfeed, pump, and then save the milk. I was either breastfeeding or that was it. So
when, just a random question, that time, were there breast pumps available that time?
They did have breast pumps. But there wasn't like
Like a
I
lot
found
of
out later,
choices?
like some of my friends had hired a lactation specialist that would help.
Okay.
But when you're in the hospital, they just latch the baby on and then they send you home. And then there wasn't any like information about it.
And that's what I thought it was to it, actually. While I was pregnant, that's the idea that I had personally. Like, I thought that was it. You just latch them and then they'll get it.
Yeah.
But apparently there's so much to it. Like, a lot of people have difficulty actually latching the baby, and
Yeah.
they could have a tongue tie and all these things. So I didn't know that. But, well, so nothing has changed.
Yeah,
I'm
so
here to tell
nothing-
you, nothing
yeah.
has changed. We all still have the same problems.
As moms, we're sent out. Like I remember when
Just go be a
I
mom.
left the hospital, and I always wanted to be a mom. Like all my friends said, "Are you going to be such a great mom?" But it was like I had this baby, and I was waiting for my husband to come around with a car seat, and I was like, "Are they just going to let me walk out with this baby? Like I'm just." Just walk out and take him home, and that's it. It was the strangest feeling, and it just felt. It didn't feel like there was a lot of support, but that's just kind of how it was. That you just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
I see. It's fun for me to see you and Carlo and the way you research things, because I'm sure even at the time there were better ways to do things.
Oh, honestly, we still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But
And there's internet now, so
yeah,
that's
there's
helpful
internet,
too.
there's ChatGPT. We
Yeah.
do that a lot, but we still don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just figuring out.
Just figuring it out as you go.
I think that's part of the whole parenting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so and 16 years later,
16 years later,
you got pregnant
I got pregnant
with Carlo's sister.
with her. Yep, with Emma, and
How did that feel? Like, were
well,
you nervous?
You know, honestly, I always say to people, they're always like, was she planned? And I was like, it's like she was always up there waiting for us. We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Because when she showed up, it was like the family was complete. But for me, I was 42 and I was tired. Like it just took me a while to realize that I actually was going to have a baby. My pregnancies were fine. I didn't have any issue, but it was like just imagining what it was going to be like. And I did end up having amniocentesis, which they'll do that so that you make sure you don't have deformities or whatever.
Okay.
And the baby, since I was
is
an
it like
older mom.
the test that you do to see if the baby's okay?
They put like a needle in your stomach and then they, and it goes right through the stomach, and then they draw amniotic fluid, I think, out, and then they test it, and then they'll tell you if you have any issues, with the baby since you're an older mom. It actually didn't hurt. I was surprised. Yeah. It looked like it would, but it really didn't. So we had that done, and then it was so funny. So this is off topic, but we had Carlo.
Yeah.
AJ was already off to college and stuff. And I remember there was talk about, going back to war, and was there going to be a draft? And I was so nervous because somebody told me that if you had a single child, that they wouldn't draft him, a boy.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, what if I'm having a boy? I'm going to have like 2 boys, and that's going to allow Carlo to be drafted and go off to war. That was like the only thing I thought about until I found out that I was having a girl. And then that's the reason I found out beforehand that we were having what we were going to have, because I was so stressed
relief.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we knew we were having a girl, and Carlo was so excited. Like he took the ultrasound picture around to all his friends and then brought all the friends to the house and congratulated us. And he was just such a great big brother. So
that's good.
Once she came, it was, my life was different because I was a little more established. I had more time with her.
Yeah.
I had more time off. My mom came for a little bit too, like she did with Carlo. But I just kind of had more time to figure it out. And all my friends were so excited because their kids were grown.
Yeah.
And so they would come visit and stuff. So it was different. I mean,
did you, just out of curiosity, so was there anything different, since it's 16 years apart, between your pregnancy with Carlo and the pregnancy with Emma?
People have asked me that, and both my pregnancies were pretty easy. Yeah, I didn't have any, like, I didn't throw up or anything like that.
Oh, that's great.
And they say, like, if you're having a girl, you might be more sick or whatever. I had, cravings, but I mean, both of my pregnancies were pretty easy, so I couldn't really compare to see how one was different, other than the fact that I was older.
I think you also mentioned to me that you had motion sickness.
Oh, I did. So
like you developed it all of a sudden.
Yes.
You never had it before you developed.
After I had Carlo,
Okay.
Before I had Carlo, I could go on the zipper. I could do any roller coaster.
Yeah.
After I had Carlo, I had motion sickness. I couldn't even be on a sailboat, and I would get nauseous.
Okay.
That lasted after I had Emma.
That lasted for 16
Yeah,
years?
16 years. After I had Emma, went away. So now I can go back on the roller coasters and stuff. That was a weird thing. Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's
and my
crazy.
eyesight got better after I had Emma.
I'm having all sorts of symptoms right now. Like, you knew this morning I have a headache. Apparently, this is a story for another time. Apparently, you're supposed to get checked and take all these supplements after you give birth, which I did not do to take care of myself. So I have all like after postpartum symptoms right now. So the fact that I hope it doesn't last like 16 years.
No.
I have allergies that suddenly came out from nowhere. Like, I don't know, like your immune system gets really like beaten up once you give birth. And I'm glad you only had that for 16 years and then it went away. Well,
that's the main thing I noticed. I mean, other than that, you're just tired for forever. But other than that,
it's tired forever. Does it get better? Do you feel less worried? I think that's
the thing is like, you know, I feel like I raise my kids the same, but it's like when you have little kids, you worry about everything. Yeah. And you think, well, when they get to this stage, I'm going to worry less because they'll be walking or because they'll be talking or because whatever. But the big thing for me was when the kids were old enough to get their driver's license. And I realized that not everything's in my control.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I said a lot of prayers because I realized that, you know, you're trying to get your kids you're trying to make them safe and get them to adulthood. But like once I got the license, it's when I realized I don't have all that control. I have to just hope that the things that I taught them, you know, don't drink and drive, you know, be safe with your friends, all those things they'll pay attention to and that somebody else will be keeping their eye on them, you know. So you don't worry. Then you worry when when they're dating, and you worry. Yeah, you always kind of worry.
Also, always worry. Is that
you're
what
always
you're
going to worry.
Well, thank you for
that.
You
have that little connection with your kids, no matter how old they are.
I'll always worry now. I'll never be the same for the rest of my life.
It goes up and down. It's like less and more. You don't think
but
about it for a while.
But you sleep better.
Yeah, but you definitely sleep better. Once they're out of the house, you don't listen for them coming in at night, so you definitely sleep better.
Oh, so
you got 18 more years.
Okay. So when she's, because I have a daughter, when she starts dating, I always told myself that I'm going to probably follow her and not like let her know that I'm there. I'm going to be hiding in the bushes. Yeah, because I'm a psycho. And you
got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So I have to wait up. And now I actually do understand my mom as well. So my mom really wanted to do this, but she's a private person. So she's probably not going to be here ever. But love her so much, and she would worry so much. Even up to this day, I feel like she still worries, but I do notice that she sleeps better, if anyone is curious about that. And yeah, I was always wondering in high school, like, why is she always like on her feet? Like, what's your problem? I'm just seeing this guy, he's fine. But you can see her, like, she's always like asking so many questions. And well, it's good to know that you at least get your sleep back, even though you'll worry until the day you die about your kids.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is kind of funny because I think that one of the blessings of motherhood is that you see your mother in a different way. Like you can't really imagine what your mom was going through when you're a kid because your life is so centered around yourself.
I thought she was just being mean.
Right, and
no,
possessive or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're a mother yourself, it gives you a connection and appreciation towards your mom,
so much.
Because no matter how your mother mothers, they do it out of love. You know, it doesn't always look the same for everybody, but it's like they do it out of love and you can identify with them. And even for me now, my mom's 86. There's things I wish I would have drawn her into my life more, but my life was really busy at the time. But she probably could have offered me things that I didn't know she could offer me at the time.
Yeah.
But it's just like every stage of the game, once you're a mother, you appreciate your mother, that much more too.
It's true. I see her in a whole different light. Mm-hmm. And especially when I was pregnant and I couldn't really eat that much, she would cook because I had really bad food aversion. Yeah. She would cook 3 different things just so I can be able to have something in my stomach. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's so nice. I was like a whole new appreciation. I call her every day now, literally every single day. Except for when we're traveling, of course. But Yeah, so much appreciation. And I think a lot of moms, like when you become a mom, it's just there's something in your brain that changes and you just never be the same again.
Yeah.
I always say that.
I always have like this picture of like as a mom, you're full of all these like little tiny hearts, and your hands are like always letting hearts out to your kids. Like they're always like flowing through your arms, and it never really goes away. So it's like it's never empty. It's always flowing. And so like with your mom, that connection for her to be able to cook for you is a gift, because she enjoys that connection with you as much as you enjoy it with her. So
yeah, it's amazing for sure. Okay, so another question: were there any parenting rules that you used for Carlo and 16 years later used for Emma? Or did you like say, oh, I can't do this anymore back then? Like, was there something different with both parenting styles that you did?
I would say I wasn't a parent that had a lot of rules. I mean, I had a curfew. They had to be in at curfew. If they weren't in by curfew, then they lost their privilege for driving or being out for a week or so. So anything that had to do with safety, I was pretty stringent about. But other than that, I didn't have a whole lot of rules. So no, I mean, probably Carlo would say, we were more lax with Emma because we just had more time,
Yeah.
And it is different raising a girl. I mean, I don't know if it was a girl versus a boy or just that their personalities are slightly different, and so they have different needs. But I can't really think. I mean, I can't really think of anything that changed other than I'm sure Emma had it a little easier when it came down to rules than Carlo did. But for the most part, we just tried to teach them to make their own good choices. And if they didn't, take the car away or whatever. But
yeah, so the usual, you're grounded, take the car away. You can't drive for a week or two.
Oh, well, I will say the big difference probably between Carlo and Emma is the social media part. So like when Carlo was little, no cell phone, no laptop. He didn't even have the PlayStation. He just played soccer, baseball. He played outside. And Emma, she was born in a digital age. So I think
there was iPads already.
Yeah, she was raised with iPads, and she didn't have a phone. She wasn't supposed to get it until she was 12. She got it when she was 10 because she's quite the negotiator. But I remember attending, they had a police station visit for parents to come and learn how to keep your kids safe online and keep them away from predators. And it was so overwhelming because I realized that no matter what I do, she's always going to be one step ahead. If I block her phone with whatever, she'll find a way to unlock it or get around it. And so I realized after attending that I just have to be really good at staying connected with her as best as I could. So that I know what's going on with her, who her friends are and all that, which I was like that anyway. But that caused a lot of stress for me because it's like we had parental controls on the TV and we tried to put them on the iPad, but stuff would pop in and we didn't really have enough experience with it,
Honestly,
so that was a big difference.
I don't know. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that right now. I'm worrying about it already, even though she's only 1. But just because there's all these things like AI and I don't know, there's online predators and all of these. It's such a different time, and like even that age you were worrying about that. Now it's even like more. Yeah. Like teens are having relationships with AI. Yeah. And it's crazy. I'll talk to you about that later. Yeah.
Because you have
camera.
To stay.
It's crazy.
You have to stay up. And we always figure you guys are so tech savvy. But at some point, Carlo your kids are going to look at you and think you're not caught up with what I know. And it's mind-boggling to think what that would be. Like how...
I probably won't be. Carlo is usually the tech-savvy one. I'm not. Yeah. I usually call him to do stuff on my phone for me. Like, I can't be bothered. Yeah. I'm already worrying about my daughter.
Right. Yeah. It's time-consuming, too.
Did you do anything like sleep training or with any...
Well, yes. So... First of all, I want to say I'm really impressed with the sleep training that you guys have done. It was really, for me to see how Isla, after you went through the sleep trainer and the sound machine and all the things you guys do, how easy it is to put her down.
Yeah.
Like even as a grandparent.
So hold on. Before we actually go over that, because I know there is a split on the internet about sleep training. Let me just put a disclaimer there before we proceed to talk more about it. Not all sleep training is the cry it out method. There are different ways to sleep train. It's not only leaving your baby out to cry. And even if you did, honestly, I don't have any opinion for that. I do not like condone or like say it's bad or whatever. I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland. So different methods. And if we're going to be talking about sleep training, there's honestly, you'll have your own opinion about it, but we did something else. We did not do the cry it out method. And so let us proceed. I just had to say that.
So I guess I probably did the cry it out method. So what happened was Carlo didn't sleep through the night till he was a year and a half. And we were just tired. And we had no time together at night. And our time together was limited as it was. And we were either trying to put him to bed. And then they said, don't put your baby down with a bottle. But at some point we're like, his teeth can rot. We don't care. We need him to sleep. So we just gave him the bottle to put him to sleep. But what would happen? So
was that the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I was at a play group and they had different books out. And I had this book on how to solve your child's sleep problems. And it had a step-by-step way to how to do it. So I told Carl, we should just try this. And so we did. And so basically what it was saying is like when you put your baby down with a bottle, when it falls out of his mouth, it's like taking his pillow away. He wakes up because it's out of his mouth and then he wants it. So we're like, okay, that makes sense. So this basically said, put him in the bedroom for like 1 minute. And then he cries, go in and check on him. And then it goes to like 5 minutes. And it goes to like half hour, whatever. And the first night he cried all night, like screamed bloody murder. Our neighbor was like, you better be careful. Somebody's going to call the police on you. And we're like, so all night, we made it through all night. He cried and cried and cried. The next day, but by 2.5 days it took of following this regime, he slept
amazingly.
Down, and he went to,
and you know what? They always say a lot of things about sleep training, even the cry it out method, like babies need to be, loved and cuddled and soothed. You shouldn't leave them to cry it out. But honestly, Carlo is a grown man now and he's such a loving person. There's nothing like, even he was formula fed, correct? I was very worried about breastfeeding, stopping pumping and breastfeeding because I was like, oh, what if it hinders the development and all these things. But then I always go back and think about my husband is the greatest person ever. And if you don't know my husband personally, honestly, everybody loves my husband. I, however, have questionable opinions when people, like, when you meet someone and you're not sure about them and you have to like talk to them further to know if you really have a good gauge. People meet my husband and they just love him straight off the bat. Like, talk to him, say a few sentences. Everybody loves my husband. And if you don't know who my husband is, you better check the second episode because he's the guest on there. And he got rave reviews for that. So, yeah. So he's just like so loving and he's the best person ever. And I'm like, you know what? Deanna did this with Carlo. Carlo's great. He grew up to be such a great man. And yeah, you know what? That's the only thing that calms me down. Like, even switching the formula, really, like I was so worried about switching the formula. And that was like one of the things that really like gave me a peace of mind and made me feel better about like, oh, she's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, that's good. And they did say, I thought it was a gift to us, but really it said it's a gift to your child because when your child can't sleep, they don't get the sleep. They're not sleeping at nap time. And he was a different kid when he was getting, his sleep.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And I can vouch for that. I mean, for me, it was for myself. I know it was for everybody in the house. And honestly, I feel like I'm a whole different person if I'm getting much better sleep. Yeah. Isla was waking up every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes from 12 midnight all the way till 6 a.m. She was waking up every 30 minutes. I was losing my mind. Yeah. I didn't want to sleep train. I swear I really did not want to sleep train because of all the stuff that people are saying online, and there's only the cry it out method and all these things. So I did some research. I started talking to sleep trainers in Singapore. There's like 2 sleep trainers I talked to. one was doing this method, the other was doing, there's like a chair method, there's like a soothing method. So I went with this lady. She's Singaporean, she's local, and she's been doing this for years. My God. And she is incredible. I will not give you the name, but you can message us on our Instagram and I will give you the name. But she was just incredible. So what we did was we did the chair method, and it was also with the soothing method at the same time. But it's very trial and error. So I would sit next to the crib and soothe her, my hand inside the crib soothing her, but at the same time, like, trying to get her to sleep. So we were allowed to pick her up every 3 minutes, soothe her and put her back. And it was just repeating that over and over again. And the soothing methods were the key here. So we had to, you can pat her bum to see if she's soothing. You could stroke her hair, see which one works. The one that worked for us was patting the bum. So we'd pat her bum every time we would soothe. And that was just over and over again. And a lot of factors come into play, like how much they're eating during the day, how much they're playing, and all of these stuff to make them, tired and all of these. And honestly, there's so much to it and so much science to it. I'm not going to share further into that, but it worked. And honestly, I was a whole different person. And I feel I'm such a huge advocate for, if you can't be the best mom if you're self-sacrificing, you're not doing anything for yourself. And that was my mistake at the very beginning. I was not doing anything for myself. I wasn't getting massages. I wasn't combing my hair. I wasn't even taking showers. I was just give everything to this child, to survive, give everything to this child. I don't care about myself. This is how a mother should be, is what my mentality was. And then I only discovered this maybe around 6-7 months when I did sleep training. I started going to the salon. I started taking showers more. I was like, oh my God, no wonder I was miserable. I'm back, everybody. So yeah, it's so different. And I know there's a lot of mixed opinions online about sleep training and all these, but honestly, guys, I did a different method and it's just amazing.
Well, you want to hear something funny? So 16 years later is Emma.
Yeah.
And she didn't sleep well either. I would sleep on the floor by her crib, so she'd fall asleep and I would fall asleep, and then she'd be looking at me on the floor. But Carlo, my husband's name's Carlo too. He traveled all the time. And so I just put her in bed with me. I'm like, this is the last kid I'm going to have.
Yeah.
They say in my day, they're like, never put your kid in bed with you. And then others would say, oh, I have a family bed. My kids sleep with me. So that was the sort of debate in those days. But I thought, well, it's not going to last for long. And I said to my girlfriend one time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. She was 4. Emma was still sleeping with me, and she was 4. And my friend says, don't worry about it. I did that with my daughter. She turned 12. Cold turkey. I was like, 12? But
so how did that work?
Emma slept with us till she was 10.
Okay.
So she went in her bed, but if she woke up, or sometimes I'd let her sleep with me because Carla's gone. If she sleep in her bed and she want to come crawl in bed with us, we let her crawl in bed with us.
Yeah.
And then one night, she just was like, I'm done. I don't want to sleep anymore. There's not room for me. I'm not comfortable. She slept in her bed and she's been fine. So
I was
completely
the same.
Opposite.
I was the same. I actually do remember co-sleeping with my parents as well, on and off. Especially when I would have a bad dream. I would need to get on that bed. And I think I had bad dreams all the way till I was 15. And I'd still be waking my mom up and get in the bed with her. And honestly, I turned out fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I sleep well.
You sure did.
I mean, not now, but I still sleep well.
So there's all different, ways. You just have to do what works for you.
Yeah. And amazing. Honestly, I feel so refreshed and different now. All right. So let's do rapid fire. I have about 10 items in my iPad. I'm going to show them to you.
Okay.
And a lot of them you may have seen from us because we use them, but they were definitely not
available during my day. Okay.
Yeah. And I want to see your honest reaction.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put this here in the middle. Let's start with that. Do you know what that is?
Is it a baby wipe warmer?
Yes. How did you know that?
When Emma was born, I didn't have one, but I knew they had them, and I thought that would be a nice thing to have.
My personal opinion, no.
No. Okay.
I got them. Apparently I got them. And honestly, I think as a first-time parent, you would want to get whatever you want to get for the baby, right? But this one, I don't know. I think it's a cap. It's not. I heard it develops like mold.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end
Well,
of the
that
day.
makes sense.
And honestly, if you cannot carry this big bulky thing when
Right.
you're in an outing with your kid and I gotta plug in the wipe warmer and pull out the wipes and wipe this child from this cold wet wipe. So we just did cold wipes the whole time. We did buy this but did not end up using it that much because she was colic anyway. That's the least of our problems.
Yeah, that's what Cardinal was colic too. Yeah. Maybe it's hereditary.
Maybe it's from her dad. You know what this is?
That is a blood pressure cuff.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's an owlet sock.
What is it?
It's a sock that you put on the baby's foot and it measures the blood pressure and like heart rate and oxygen level.
And
very expensive.
Yeah. Why would you do that if they were sick, or you just did that because
you're a psycho parent and you want to know if they're fine? Like me, I wanted to buy this, but it's honestly super expensive. I'm not sure what the price is anymore, but I do remember looking it up and be like, I can't do that. That's too expensive. But if I had the money, I mean, it's something.
You would have done it.
Yeah, I would have. I kept checking if she was breathing.
I feel like it's one more thing to worry about. Like, okay, now the numbers are they supposed to be up? Are they supposed to be down? Is the blood pressure? You know what I mean?
So? Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it give you the ease of like?
I feel like it would create the opposite in my mind. I feel like it would be one more number that you just don't need to know.
When my daughter would sleep more than 30 minutes, I'd be really worried and start checking her.
Yeah.
But what could have been checking the
maybe
not that helpful. I know some people have it.
Maybe the next baby. Feeding spoon.
You think so? Don't read the So this is a spatula for the diaper cream, so you don't have to use your hands.
Oh, don't get that mixed up with a spoon.
Isn't it clever?
It's clever, but it looks an awful lot like a spoon.
You know what this is.
For the ears? Temperature? Thermometer for the ears?
It's actually a breast pump.
Oh, had no idea.
It's a Bluetooth breast pump that you could use on your phone. You could like turn it on your phone, set up the timing and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, they have that.
Small and handy to carry around.
You know what this is.
Refrigerator for your milk. Oh, sterilizer.
Yeah, UV sterilizer. Did you have
it? No, didn't have that. We just boiled our bottles.
Yeah.
And that's how we warmed them up too, because we didn't have microwaves with Carlo either. Well, we did, but not in the beginning. So you just heated them on the stove.
Did you?
And then you go like this on your wrist and make sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mom was doing that when she was taking care of us when I just gave birth. And she would I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing? There's this now. Yeah.
And with Emma, I don't know if I mentioned, but I breastfed her for 18 months.
Yeah.
So I never had a pump because I was home. So
you
I never
did
had any of
both.
this stuff.
So you failed to mention that. You actually did both.
I did both. And with her, she loved to breastfeed.
Yeah.
And the only reason I took her off the breast was because I had a concert to go to and I didn't want to.
Oh.
It was a sort of self-serving. I'm like, 18 months, she's good anyway. So then
18 months is long.
Pissed.
18 months is long.
She was mad, but she made it for a couple days.
She was mad.
So I didn't really, if there was new things at the time, I didn't get a breast pump or any of this. But the sterilizer, like that portable one you have, I thought was pretty cool.
Yes. The portable one is amazing for traveling. Like I used to boil. I know it's old school. I used to boil when I was traveling and then I found the portable one and I was like, why?
You are the expert traveler, I have to say. You have
we travel quite a bit.
The items that are needed. Like something that makes the baby feel snug in its bassinet.
It's a lounger. I know it looks like a dog bed, but apparently there's dog beds for babies too.
So it makes him feel sort of
it's a baby lounger. It's basically like this long donut that you just pop in there while you're watching TV.
Yeah, I could see the benefit of that.
But very expensive too.
Wow.
It's a dog bed that costs like a mortgage is what they call it.
Okay, well, a couple pillows. That is I have no idea what that is.
That's a
ear cleaner.
It's a nose sucker.
Oh.
So you put your mouth there.
Oh. No way.
And then you put this up the nose. And when it's really blocked, you just slurp. It won't go all the way up. You just suck it through. It will just come out here. It will stay here. There's a funnel that blocks it.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
I've done it a few times. Carla has too. It's incredible.
Work good?
Yeah, it does.
Really?
It's like it clears up the nose if they have like a lot of boogers.
Carla tried it on himself?
No, actually, I wanted to do a video where he tried it on me, but he didn't want to do it. He's only do it on a baby. Well, last one. You've seen this.
That I love. That's a nightlight, and you can tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, a nightlight.
For different colors or brightness.
A nightlight and a sound machine.
Oh, it's a sound machine too. That
and a nightlight.
Cool. Yeah.
And there's a time over there.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's perfect.
We have that at home. I think you've seen it.
I saw a smaller one. I didn't know it had the timer on it.
And you could change the sound and then adjust the lighting and everything through your phone. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's. I would think that would be valuable.
Oops. Okay, let's wrap things up. Before we wrap up, I would like to ask you this question. If you were to give your old self advice back in the day as a new mom, what advice would it be?
I feel like I'm a pretty relaxed person, but I would say just to chill a little bit more about, it's just so hard in the beginning when you have your first baby to relax, because you have so much information that you need to gather to make, the second one's going to be easier in some ways because you have all this information in your brain and you're just sort of adding to it. But I feel like as a new parent, there's so much incoming, and especially now with the internet, there's more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's just trying to take in less and just take in what matters and then enjoy the time I had more. I mean, I felt like I was super busy with work and everything else. I had time with my kids. I wish I would have had more time with my kids, because it's just, you hear it all the time. You will look back and you will think, I wish I would have. You'll never think, I wish I would have given them squash instead of beets or more water, but you will look back and miss the time that you have with them. So it'll always happen no matter how much time you spend with your kids. But I would say if I could chill a little bit more and I feel like I had fun with them, but have more time just getting to know my kids, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Deanna. All right. See you next time. Bye.